Okay, good Tavach, everyone, as we have the great privilege of starting the Perek Cheskes Habatim in the Mishna Yomis. It was not long ago that we finished it in the Daf Yomi. We are sponsored by the Fisher family, Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi, Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain. Also, Nishmas David ben Chaim, for the Fush Shalem for Yomis ben Chayesar, for the Schus of Avram ben Yom Ben Shmamalki Hudis and family, by Yol Klugman and family, for their Panas Gesund and Nachas, for Meir ben Chayesar, Moshe Meir ben Esther Fadel, should have a Fush Shalema, V'Seich Shar Chayli Yisrael. Now, the way it works is as follows. If I have a piece of land, I'm the Mori Kama. I'm the assumed ancestral owner. Shelley buys it for me. I give him a shtar. I give him a deed of sale. The question is, how long does Shelley have to keep this paper? How long does he have to keep? You can't keep around paper forever. So the Mishna tells us that if Shelley uses the land 3 years consecutively, and I don't protest his occupation for those 3 years, then he develops what's called the Cheskas Gimel Shanim, a presumptive status, and he doesn't have to keep the paper. So therefore, let's see it inside. Cheskas Habatim, a presumptive status on homes, v'aboyres, on pits, v'ashichen, trenches, ma'orais, caves, shoivachais, dovecotes, merchetzais, bathhouses, beis abadim, olive presses, beis hashlochen, irrigated fields, havodim, slaves, v'koshu oisaperis tadr, and anything that produces constantly, cheskasan shalosh shanim miyayim miyayim. Shelley develops a presumptive ownership if he uses it for 3 years continuously and I didn't protest. Then after that 3 years, he doesn't have to keep the paper anymore. Now, steabal, if it's a field that is not irrigated but is wholly sustained by rain, so that only is used during the rain season, it's 3 years, but he doesn't have to use it every day. It's not all 365 days because it's only used during the rain season. So it's used for 3 seasons. He develops a chazaka. Rabbi Shmuel says you don't need 3 full years. The last 3 months of the first year, the first 3 months of the last year, and 12 months in the middle, so you have 18 consecutive months. You could have 3 crops. That's already a chazaka. Rabbi Kiva says you could even do it in 14 months. Chodesh Berishayna, a month in the beginning, the last month of the first year. The Chodesh Ba'achrayna, the first month of the third year. And 12 months in the middle. That develops a chazaka. Rabbi Shmuel says, where do we say you need 3 years? Where it's exclusively a grain field. But if it's an orchard that has different crops, so Kana says to us, if he gathers in the grain, Masak Ezesa prunes in the olives, and Kana says Kitzai and gathers in the figs, so he does 3 crops, even if it's not in 3 years, that develops a chazaka. If I don't protest, Arielu Shalosh Shanim, that's tantamount to 3 years, and Shelley doesn't have to keep the paper. However, obviously, Shelley can only assume that I didn't protest if I know about it. And therefore, if I'm far away, that I don't know about it, then he can't say Rabbi Weiss didn't protest, because I didn't protest because I didn't know about it. So the Gemara says there are 3 zones for chazaka. Shalosh aratzos l'chazaka. There are 3 zones for chazaka. Yehuda ve'ever hayarden v'agala. In the land of Yehuda, the Transjordan, and the Upper Galil in the north. Now, Hoya Yehuda, if I was away in Yehuda, v'hechzik begalil, and Shelley occupied my property in Galil, even if he occupied it for 3 years, and I didn't protest, that's no proof, because I didn't protest because I didn't know about it. Or by Galil, or let's say I was up north, the Erzik be Yehuda, and he occupied my property in Yehuda for 3 years, ain't a chazaka. It's not a chazaka, because the reason why I didn't protest is because I didn't know about it. So he has to still keep his paper. Ache imay b'Medina, until we're both in the same province. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. Rabbi Yehuda says, no. Why do you think they said 3 years? That even if I'm in Spain, and Shelley occupies it 1 year, and they get the word to me in the 2nd year, and I come back the 3rd year. Rabbi Yehuda holds that normally it's a chazaka if Shelley is in the property even 1 year. Why am I quiet if somebody's in my property? The only time it's 3 years is if I'm far away. As Rabbi Yehuda says, Rabbi Yehuda lo yamru shalosh shanim ela kedei she'eh ba'aspamia, the owner is in Spain, v'yazik shana, and Shelley occupies it in Eretz Yisrael a year, v'yelchu v'yodi'u shana, and they come and they alert me the next year, v'yavei l'shana acheres, and I get back to throw him out the 3rd year. So even if I'm far away, 3 years, you could still develop a chazaka. We don't pass like Rabbi Yehuda. We want to thank you very much. Again, a very, very busy night of learning, and have a good tavach.